Okay, March 20th. In 1965, President Lyndon Johnson notifies the country and notifies Governor Wallace of Alabama that he is calling up the Alabama National Guard. He's federalizing the National Guard so that he can protect these protesters that are being led by Martin Luther King. Just 2 weeks earlier, March 7th, Martin Luther King and about 600 supporters were marching from Selma, Alabama, up to Montgomery to protest the violation of Voting Rights Acts and people not being able to register to vote and the killing of a black man by a police officer. And what followed was a brutal attack by state and local police using tear gas and billy clubs on unarmed protesters. So the nation was shocked by this. So Lyndon Johnson told Wallace he needed to provide protection for these marchers the next time. Wallace apparently told LBJ in a phone conversation that he would do that, but then publicly basically told LBJ, I'm not doing it. You bring down the federal troops. So LBJ nationalized the Alabama National Guard, 10,000 people. And then a couple days later, 50,000 people marched from Selma to Birmingham, to Montgomery, to listen to King's speech and to protest again the voting rights violations. So that happened today. So just a little note, just a side note. So the Army Reserves are a federal force. They're federally dispersed, and they're just used as the reserves for the military. The Army Reserves and the Navy Reserves. The National Guard is a state entity, and so the commander-in-chief for the Indiana National Guard or the Alabama National Guard is the governor of the state, not the president. However, the president does have the authority in times of crisis and emergency to nationalize them. So that's what he did. So that happened today. In 1965, LBJ calls up the Alabama National Guard to protect marchers that were marching from Selma to Montgomery. So that's what I have for today. I will see you tomorrow.